Cavalier Roundtable, where we have had a lot of basketball action going on. To my left here is Ryan Chybinski, and I'm joined on my right by Sam Taddei and newcomer to the Roundtable, TJ Scott. So, guys, the basketball team, what a thrilling victory they had the other night against Moravian.
Absolutely. I mean, they looked a little lost in the first half there. They seemed to be playing single-player basketball. It looked like it was take the ball to the rack yourself or drive in and take a covered layup. And then Coach McDonald got them fired up at halftime. They were down, and they came back, and they dominated the second half. They looked like a completely different team in the second half.
Yeah. I'll take it, Tej. One thing about this team is that we're a second-half team. We played down in the first half almost every game and are fighting our way back in the end. It's the team's honestly biggest downfall. And another thing about this basketball team is that there isn't any cohesiveness amongst the players. When they're all out there, it looks like there's 5 players playing their own different game instead of 5 players playing with the same goal. But I will say this, Cabrini thrives playing at home. Yes, they are a team that consistently struggles in the first half, but they have a different energy when they play at home.
Absolutely, and I'll say one player that has been key, especially it was shown in the game last night, Aquil Stewart. I think he dropped 24 points and led them to a comeback in the second half, and they're down by 10 in the second half, so it shows that they do have that element in their team to come back when it's tough, but it's showing it consistently and doing that and that can win them a championship, hopefully.
Got to give Aquil Stewart some credit. I mean, he played 37 minutes last night. He came out of the game one time because I think he got a cramp in his calf. That was the only time he came out of the game. You could see he was visibly gassed. Every time the ball went out of bounds or there was a stoppage, he had his hands on his knees. He was taking deep breaths. You could tell he was giving everything he had for the Cavaliers. 24 points, two threes, 9 field goals made, 4 free throws made in 37 minutes. Those are some impressive stats. And the Cavaliers were missing Amadou Sarner as well, another one of their top players. He was completely absent from the bench last night. So it was interesting to see how the Cavaliers adjusted to that. And then Pat Campbell, again, earning his spot in the starting lineup, showing why he's there. The one thing this Cavaliers team needs is a big man. That's the one thing they're missing. If they can get some size in the paint, I think this is a really dangerous team.
100%. And it sucks that we have Malik Bailey out, with his liver injury. He really served as the big man last year. So you're 100% right in saying that we do need that big man this year.
Yeah, I really like the point that you brought up earlier about how they're a very second-half team. Like, in the first half of the game, they just look like they don't know what they're doing out there. And the problem is this isn't a new issue. This is a problem that happened last year, the year before that. It's a consistent issue with this team, and it's something Coach McDonald really needs to get fixed.
I want to put this out there. Do you think, we were talking about this the other day, Matt, do you think that if they continue to struggle in the first half and if they continue to lose games in the way they have early on in the season, it puts McDonald on the hot seat, or do you think he's safe in his job at the moment here at Cabrini?
I don't think it puts him exactly right on the hot seat. McDonald overall, I think he's a pretty good coach.
I would agree.
And the biggest thing in a coach that they need to do is make those halftime adjustments. And obviously, that's what Coach McDonald does. So I really think that his job is safe. No worries there.
Well, what do you think they have to do then to start playing cohesively right off the first tip-off? What do they have to do to play as a unit right away? And that anybody can answer.
What I think they need to do is they just need to run their plays like they practice. Like, it's the same, you do the same things in practice. So practice the way you play and play the way you practice.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. Like I said before, when they start that first half, they're playing 5 different games, those players. Every single player is playing a different game, and then the second half, they start getting it together. But at that point, it's served for them to be too late at times, especially in the away games when they don't have that home advantage.
Right, and that's going to come down, especially in the playoffs. If you start slow in the first half, you're basically digging yourself in a deep hole to come out of. So, hopefully they find their form and string some wins together. But if you're going to start off slow in the first half, especially in conference play, teams are going to jump off you real quick, and that won't be good for them, especially if they want to have home field advantage for later in the season.
Absolutely. They travel to Rowan on the 5th of December. That's going to be a big game for them. Rowan, a tough opponent in anything they play. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back on the road. They're currently on a losing streak on the road. They lost at Eastern. They lost at Elizabethtown. They lost at Rosemont. They lost at Arcadia. They haven't won on the road. They've only won at home. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get over the hump, especially against a tough Rowan opponent.
Yeah, I mean, last year we saw how great of an offense that Rowan had, and we were able to match them. So that's what you got to do this year. Rowan's looking the same way, basically. So you got to be able to match their offense and hold them down enough defensively to the point where your offense can't catch up.
Absolutely, and they have back-to-back road games as well. Then they travel to Lancaster Bible on December 8th, which is usually a good game when these two teams meet. It was a pretty high-scoring game last year, so it'll be interesting to see if we see the same thing again this year.
Yeah, and then on the other side of things, we have the women's basketball team. It's a nice Thanksgiving break trip out to California. Played a few games out there. Did not bode well for them. What do you guys think is going on with them?
I don't really know. In all honesty, they seem like they have the pieces. They're trying to incorporate some freshmen into the starting lineup, which I think is kind of hard for them to gel with. And I mean, it's always hard. I mean, you saw our men's soccer team struggle with it, trying to work in some freshmen. It always is hard when you try to work in players who are brand new to the college game immediately into the starting lineup or right off the bench. It takes some time for them to get comfortable. And I think that that's just what's going on with this women's basketball team, and that they're going to be fine going down the stretch, especially when they get into conference play.
Right, and like you said, unfortunately, our season didn't end the way we wanted it to. But those freshmen did get a lot of minutes, and that's going to help them, especially in the future. Hopefully, for the women's basketball team, that helps them later on in this season. Emma Brown has been really well this year. Has done really well this year, as well as the other freshmen as well. Miranda Leaptag, Katie Rodriguez. Hopefully, that their senior leadership helps lead this young team to hopefully get some wins together.
Yeah, I 100% agree, especially the new freshman, Ella Gordon. She has been a force to be reckoned with so far. She has definitely, if you look at the stats, has been making a big difference with this team so far. I know against Pomona Pitzer, she threw up 18 points, and against Claremont MS, she had 8 points, Like Ryan said, I think it's just something that they're getting used to. They have to learn how to gel with each other. But I do believe that once conference play comes around, that they're gonna come out on top and that they're gonna start doing a lot better.
Yeah, I feel like this is something that this girls' team does almost every year too. Is they have that slow start, and then once conference play comes around, they fix it and figure it out. Like last year, they had a lot of graduating seniors, and it's really showing out there in the court. So they're kind of just trying to find that balance, get everything together, and I really think they will, and be one of the top teams in the conference once again.
They lost one of their top shooters in Hannah Fenstermacher as well. She shot lights out last year for that team, and she was really a main reason why that team was so good and why they were able to rally and play so well in the second half of the season. So you can see that hole that she's left behind now that she's gone, and they're trying to fill that hole, and they're trying to rally around the senior leadership that they have. And I have full faith in Katie Rodriguez and Miranda Leaptag that this team's going to be good this year.
Yeah. All right, so that is all the time we have for this week's edition of the Cavalier Roundtable. We'll catch you next week, and we'll see you out there on the basketball courts.